speaking of mental health,
yeah.
When it comes to, I can only speak for for myself. When it comes to me, dancing is like going to the spa, getting a massage, or getting a facial done, or getting your nails done. It's like it's healing.
Yeah.
It's time to yourself and time, to heal. Just like when I do meditation, when I meditate, how can I hate saying the word pole dancing. What is it called again?
Dance artistry.
How does that help with your mental health?
Absolutely. I would say I would even take off the word dance and just say artistry, because, it's all inclusive, and it includes the beautiful world of pole dance. It includes the beautiful world of other dance genres, other dance arts, but it also includes things like spoken word. It includes things like concept development, laying for hours, listening to a song and closing my eyes and envisioning choreography that's just coming to me. And especially if I know the people who are dancing it, like seeing what that looks like when we in their black with the black gloves, like, as an artist, as a visionary, I was in tears like a mama, like, oh my God, you guys are so beautiful. But
they did amazing.
That alone is healing, because it's feeding me. As much as I'm giving, everyone knows that when you give, you get so much back in return. So for me, artistry is literally giving a piece of myself unapologetically, because it can't necessarily be predefined. It's art. And this is the space, as all artists should know, a safe space, a space where you get to be naked. You get to show your scars. You get to show your healing parts. You get to show what you're still working on. And you should feel like you're in a space where everyone is there doing the same damn thing. And so that alone, just having a community that can feel where I'm coming from, be on the same mission as me, and be holding the purpose and the goal of healing themselves as a number one goal. Like that's all I need. You know what I mean? Like that's all I need. It's oxygen to me, literally.
And when she says naked, she doesn't mean like
naked, emotionally naked.
Like titties all out and stuff all out, your flower all out. No. Just like when it comes to gymnastics, they wear leotards, and like you just said,
emotionally naked. So emotionally naked.
Just want to clarify, because there's a lot of negative energy out there, and
please don't. No trolls,
just
y'all.
Down on just the word pole dancing, and just because it's pole dancing, that doesn't mean that you're a stripper. And no hate to the strippers, do your thing, but. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, and I can touch on that. There's probably a whole nother hour of a podcast, but quickly I could touch on that, because
please.
One thing in artistry in general, like if y'all go to my page, you gonna see a little bit of everything. I don't hide that. I don't not hide that, and I wear it proudly as a badge, because, like I said, it's art. But one big mission of the LLC that deals with mental health and wellness through the arts is also to educate people about pole dance, to educate people about the importance of understanding dance, period. There's amazing talent within the strip club. There's amazing talent within the dance studios that are training. There's amazing talent. If you punch in athletics, pole athletics or pole athletic competitions, you're going to see a whole spread of the sports side of pole dance. So there's a lot of stigma around the word pole. There's been discussions about putting pole dance in the Olympics, and there's still, a lot of discussions around stigma. So, I won't sit on that, because, again, there's a lot of perspectives and people have the right to have those perspectives. But I will say it is important for people to open their mind and understand that artistry is artistry. It's not one dimensional, and it's definitely a space, again, where people should feel respected.
It's definitely an art. It's just like being a gymnast. It's just like, they twirl and flip and flop and all kind of craziness. My daughters was in gymnastics as well. And, even though I can't pull myself up anymore after my car accident, but yeah, I never stripped, but I love pole dancing. I love it.
And I know when I have, if I'm teaching, I'm training, I'm certified dance fitness instructor, not only in pole, but also in glute fitness. It's a whole nother certification that y'all could jump into and have a lot of fun with. Another conversation on having an open mind and education on it. But, you know, for me, you know, if I enter a training class, I want the soccer mom who came in to take the pole dance class, who's trying to, you know, maybe lose 50 pounds after having her child and get, you know, fit and trim or whatever.
Definitely get in shape.
I want her in the room feeling completely comfortable. I want the young lady who is, you know, stripping, who wants to come in and refine her craft. I need her to feel comfortable. I need the male who comes in that's curious about it. And once again, I want him to feel comfortable, because as a trainer, you're a leader and you're an educator and you're a protector. So that shared space in pole dance training or in that class, whatever kind of class it is, I need everybody in the room to come in as if it's like church and nobody looking at each other like, I'll kick them out real quick and be like, get out my class. And so that's where I sit with it. I'm very liberal, but I understand the importance of education first.
Okay, so when it comes to just doing everything, just being a mom, being a business owner, having a 9-to-5, having your foundation, how do you manage?
Yeah. So I have, first of all, I'm in therapy. I go every Thursday. I have a family therapist that I've had for years, and we'll have a week when I'm like, yeah, I'm good. You know, I'll talk to you later. I'm good. We'll have another week where I'm like, hey, you know, one of my kids get on, you know, take your hour. So for me, therapy is a way of life. And I tell my kids all the time, I'm like, you're in therapy not because, you know, something horrible is going wrong all the time, and that's when you jump into it. You're in there because it's a way to get these thoughts out and objectively try to process them.
And I used to hate therapy.
Yeah.
I didn't believe in it.
Yeah.
I didn't believe in it until 2022.
Yeah.
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 Because I was just like, these are just regular people. Even though they got a PhD, but I'm just like, this is still like regular people. Are they really there for you or for the money? You know?
Yeah.
I'm like, and then I don't want to tell a stranger my business.
Yeah. And go ahead.
But I'm telling you guys, listen, therapy. Therapy. Because they do have a PhD, but not only that, most of them have went through the same thing that we as people have went through as well. So I would say, definitely go. Yeah. Even your kids, because your kids need therapy as well, especially when going through divorce. You know, so yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. It's so yes, therapy is one major thing. And honestly, how as cliche as it can seem, because I market it that way, but I'm a product of what I'm marketing. It's my art. You know, that's one major way that I cope, you know, and it's having faith, whatever that looks like to you, however, and whatever you practice. I was raised Muslim. My parents converted from, I believe my mother was Catholic. My father was Christian.
You said Muslim?
Yeah, I was raised Muslim in New York.
Most of, half of my family, my father's side of the family is Muslim. How did you manage being that you do what you do now as a pole dancer?
Yeah.
How do you? Oh my God!
I said I was liberal.
I was liberal.
It's
my goodness.
It's a lot. I'm not for everybody. I'll start there.
Are you close with them?
Yeah. So there's different family members who are actively, practicing in very traditional sense. There's others like myself that are quite liberal. Do you get
a lot of hate towards that?
I keep a tight circle, so I will say if there's hate, I don't really know you like that, and I'm probably not gonna want to know you like that. But I'm sure. But at the same time, for me, it's having a real understanding of self and a real understanding of my spirituality with my creator and how I choose to navigate that and how I choose to embrace freedom of expression is my journey, and that can't be taken or defined or judged by anybody but me and him.
You better say it.
And that's where I sit with it. Like, and that's from childhood. Like I've had the Kamara. I remember when I was like I had to have been like 8 years old, and this boy, I think I probably had a crush on him, but I would wear my, and I love traditional garb. I do. I tell my daughter all the time. Her father is Christian, and I too have a boy and a girl, teenagers. But I tell her all the time, hey, listen, whatever questions you have with the with the garb and whatnot, if ever you decide that's something you want to do, I'm gonna take you straight to the shops and hook you up.
Now, by you saying it, right?
Mm-hmm.
There was a time to where, I wanted to be like a hard Muslim, like to where, like the veils, everything.
Yeah.
I still love putting them on.
Yeah.
But let me tell you, now, mind you, like I said, my father's side of the family they're Muslim,
Mm-hmm.
and when my mother met my father, she became Muslim,
Mm-hmm.
and then it didn't last long. Okay. So anyway, when it came to me, I think, oh God, I was I 12? Maybe I was 12, 13, and I was just head on, like, I'm Muslim.
Yeah.
After I would go to my uncle's house and I would pray with them. I mean, I loved it,
Mm-hmm.
And I went back home and I said, I'm Muslim.
Right.
I'm Muslim. Everybody else was like what? So yeah, I'm Muslim. And then my mother said, so you want to see your husband one day? And I said, excuse me?
Oh gosh.
I'm like, what do you mean? She said, when you get older and you get married, you're going to see your husband. And I was like,
you said no, thank you.
I feel like I was a queen then. I
Right.
shit nobody. And she was like, yeah, you're going to see your husband. He gets to, pick and choose. How many wives he wants. I said, never mind.
Uh-huh.
I was like, and I was done with it. I was just done with it. But I still read the Quran.
Mm-hmm.
I actually believe in the Quran more than I believe in the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like, but that's another story.
Right.
But yeah, I was just like, oh no. So yeah.
Yeah.
Now I don't, because my mother is now, she was Christian, became Muslim, now she's Christian.
Mm-hmm.
Just all these religions, it's just crazy to me.
Yeah,
but
and there's so many.
I'll deeply get into that conversation another time.
Right.
Yeah, just so many religions. Like, for what? Why? Have you even really sat down, really thought about why are there so many religions?
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't make sense.
And there's a lot of denominations as well. You know what I mean? So it's like, in my mind, I tell the kids all the time, I think it's fruitful. I mean, I grew up with Christians, Catholics, as well as Muslims around in my family. So for them, this is my norm that I'm transferring over to them. But at the same time, I always tell them, when you get of age, you go ahead and you find what speaks to you within what you've been exposed to or outside of. Like when I was in college, I stayed in a dorm that was it was a program. We had a special dorm, which is one big reason I was like, ooh, I'm gonna have my own room. I don't have a roommate. But it was dedicated to understanding and learning about different religions, which I was curious about. You know what I mean? Because I had exposure to knowing it was okay to learn about others. It's just, to me, like another language. People have a million languages,
I have learned so much about both sides, and when it comes to, Christianity, when it comes to Muslim, and, being brought up into, in a Christian church, and then going to the mosque as well.
Yeah.
Honestly, when it came to being in the church, is like, as a child, just sitting down, listening to so many negative conversations. I'm just like, damn, we just had church. When it came to Sunday dinner, right afterwards, it's like, damn,
I just got filled with all this goodness, and y'all over here.
You guys are, doing your praise dance and everything, and then now we at dinner. I'm just like, it was always so much negative information that I received as a child. Whether it was them talking about each other, it was just a mess. And then when it comes to the mosque, when I tell you, I loved it. It was just so peaceful,
Mm-hmm.
and everybody is loving on one another.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know, so that's just my experience. I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know about everybody else's experience, but that was mine.
Yeah, yeah, and that's a bit, you know, I value the unique experiences. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like, just value them because I think it's so important for people to reach their own decision based on their experiences of what's going to work for them. You know what I mean? Like, you gonna pick what you gonna pick, but don't sit over here and be like, oh, so now you got no. Let me have my
Right.
journey and figure out where I sit. You know, naturally, and I think everyone should be able to have the freedom to do that.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I want to wrap this up, and before I do that,
Mm-hmm.
I want to ask you two things. First, I want you to give me your best 3 advice that you can give to our audience on to no matter what, believe in yourself and to keep pushing forward.
Yeah, absolutely. Number one advice I would say for that, Queen, is to and again, this is my advice. You take it, you know, or don't take it, but
Take it or leave.
say
take it or leave it.
For my journey here on earth, I would say the number one thing that you need to tap into is your source, your spirituality, your source, whatever that looks like for you. You know, it could be a conversation in the shower for 5 seconds, like talking to yourself, but just tap into you, because a lot of the things that we go running to search for or running to find is right there inside, and it just takes a lot of work to access it. We're born with it, you know what I mean? So
that's great.
Having a high passion and drive to get to know self is going to help you, because every time you start doubting, every time you start going through the motion, going through a war, you have an inside voice that will never shut up. And it's your voice. And it's trying to tell you, as important and as uncomfortable as it feels, make sure that you search, or you at least be open to creating a tribe, a community around you. That's something I still, as personal as I can be, and as blocked off in New York, who are you? You know, it still takes time for me to warm up.
Yeah.
But building out a solid tribe, and that could be 2 people, that could be 1 person, that could be 3 people. Let them come when they come into your life. But when you pick up that energy, allow yourself to open up enough to take it, because we can't do this all by ourselves. We can't. It's not possible. We're not designed for things. I don't care if it's getting a smoothie on a Wednesday, a strawberry smoothie, and that made you happy. Go do that. I don't care if it's going to, Perimeter Mall Edge and finding you a cute little fit. And, maybe you wasn't supposed to spend that, but girl, spend it. It is what it is. That Friday, punish yourself later. Girl math, you probably had a long day. You deserve it. Okay, so have moments of joy. They don't always have to be on a crazy trip internationally. It could be as small as doing tiny things like, hey, I worked out for 5 minutes a day and that brought me joy, because it's going to fill your cup when the world is continuously pouring out of your cup.
Yeah, it's important to take time to yourself. It's a must.
Yeah. Self-care is real.
I invite everybody on to my show, and everybody has one question to ask Queen Glitterati. And what is that question?
So my question for Queen Glitterati is, what absolutely, like to a T, what inspires you to keep going? Not like, 5 or 7, like the first thing that pops in your head, what inspires you to keep going?
My kids.
I knew you were going to say that. I knew you were going to say that.
My kids.
Yes.
Even after my car accident, my kids.
Yes, I know.
I feel like I'm here.
Yes.
Well, God.
Yes.
But my kids.
Yeah.
Just looking at my kids, even after my car accident, because I did forget who some of them were.
Yeah.
I didn't know who they were. I was like, who's this person? But my kids.
Yeah.
And my main goal is my soul first.
Yeah. So,
and even with that being said, it's a battle.
Yeah.
Because America is so corrupted, and yeah, I don't want to get too deep with that, but my kids, my passion. Just knowing the fact that I can never stop.
Yeah.
I can never stop.
Yeah.
I feel like my life, as well as everyone else's, we have a purpose. And I'm here, as you all should be too, to live our purpose.
Yeah.
We all have one. We're not here by mistake. We're here for a reason. That's what keeps me pushing.
Yeah.
Is my kids, my purpose, my drive that I have for my passion. Yeah.
Man, I knew you was gonna say that, and I already knew that was your answer. I remember I was gonna pull you aside at the foundation fashion show and tell you later, but I was like, when you stepped out the car and the babies, they had on their green dresses. Everybody was looking fly. The little one that brought me water, was like, hey, got me some cornflakes. It was like, you want some? He's the sweetest spirit. But I saw them all walk out looking sharp as I don't know what. And then you came in, you was like, I'm trying to find my, this, that, or the other. And you was trying to figure out what you're about to put on. And I said, that's motherhood. We make sure our babies are straight.
First, that's right.
We make sure they're glowing, they're
I was
ready.
A hot mess.
and then we'll figure it out. But like
that's
when I saw that, I was like, yeah, that's a mom. Yeah, that's a mom. So I get it. I respect that. I do.
I respect you, girl. You have to give me cry.
I know. I was like, oh,
can't think of my shades of the
too much butter size. I ain't got no shades and I got makeup on.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming here.
Absolutely.
You are so supportive.
Thank
Dragonfly.
You. Thank you.
And I respect you. Bow down to you, girl. Yes, you are. And just thank you for coming.
Yeah, absolutely.
And, telling not just me, but all of us your story.
Yeah, absolutely. I respect the work that you're doing, and I am an observer, and I'm very porous on energy, and you're very authentic, and you're very driven by the right things, and you have a charge, and you have a call of action, and your testimony is so amazing that you inspire me, and of course I'm gonna support that. Like what else am I supporting if I'm not supporting energy like that? So yeah, it's been an honor to be one of your guests.
Okay, I'm gonna say the next one. I ain't trying to get emotional. Okay.
Yes.
And there you have it, you guys. Keeping it real with Queen Glitterati. Thank you. Let's cheers to that.
Hey. Yes, please.
What do you want to cheers to? I'll let you say
life.
It. To life.
Love and life.
Yes. Amen to that.
Amen.